Hello, welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen. How are you doing today? You are here with an episode, another episode of Tea Time with Tonya's Witchy Kitchen. However, my piano has been covered. It's a good word, covered with jars of things I am drying from this past summer, and since we're still doing things in the garden and bringing mint in and rosemary and basil and chives, I'm not done. So instead of moving everything and putting it in its home, it's staying there. So we are doing it here. Yes, here. So, have you noticed my necklace? This is from my grandson, and he made me a bracelet. Oh, I remember as a kid making my mother necklaces and beads and gosh knows what else. Poor woman. No. I know. As a kid, I mean, he put so much work into this, you know. I think it was for a birthday or Mother's Day or something like that, you know. But I never wear it, you know, and it was like, oh, I should wear it with us for this episode because, you know, yeah, this is my husband's idea of a great short. Yeah, our tasting, one Christmas he went and bought like 3 or 4 tops for me, and yeah, our taste in stuff is totally opposite. Like, he likes gaudy flamboyance, and I'm just like down to earth. Yeah, when we got married, he had this gaudy diamond on top that sticks up, you know, like so far up, and then the swirl around it. I'm not saying that's a bad, it was beautiful, okay? Not me. So when we got married, I just had a gold band, and then our 10th anniversary, he got me this ring, which isn't what he wanted, but he was like, I'll let you pick out what you want. Well, it's flat. I mean, I have cracked it on a few things, you know, but it's flat. I don't scratch the kids. I don't scratch myself. I don't whack things. I don't whack the diamond off. You know, this is me, you know. Yeah, our taste and stuff is 2 different sides of the spectrum, totally. But anyway, it's tea time. We are doing, it's a cold tea. I figured one more cold tea for the end of the season, and then we'll hit into the hot stuff again. But this is a horchata, and it varies depending on region. It's made with rice and other things. We'll get into that. But Marshmallow Root is a basis for this one, and we are going to go talk about Marshmallow Root, and you're going to fall over if you live up where I live, because it's a very invasive weed. But now you have a reason to pull it out, and you can use it. So 3 things. Dream big. Be true to you. You are worth it. Let's go check out the Marshmallow Root in the kitchen. All about Marshmallow Root and common mallow. We're putting them together, okay? So Marshmallow Root comes from the mallow family. So there's common mallow, there's also common mallow, high mallow, or hollyhocks that all fit into the mallow family. And however, those 3, the common, the high, and the hollyhocks, those roots are really woody, okay? So they're not really good to eat if you were like using them to eat. They're not palatable. They're like chewing on bark. You know what I mean? Like when you get like asparagus, the bottom part that you know, snap off, you know, and if you ever try to eat that, and it's just like, ooh, yeah, like that, woody. Okay. So we use the roots fresh or dried. We use the aerial parts, not the stems, in the early flowering stage. So harvest then, fresh or dried. And they have these cute little seed buttons. They look like little buttons, and then the seeds are packed in there around. They're super cute. I think people fry them up, so you can use those too. Marshmallow root is best in a cold infusion, low alcohol tincture. Okay, so if you're making tea, it's gonna have to be cold water. You don't boil, you don't steep it in hot water. You make it in a cold infusion, which we're doing today. A tincture, make sure it's low alcohol, and don't mix with a tincture of a high alcohol. Okay, some plants, they don't need a lot of alcohol to get their benefits out, but you don't want to kill the benefits either. So mallow root is one of those. You want low cold water, low alcohol. So it'd be like a 25% alcohol to 75% water if you were doing a tincture. But anyway, mallow is cool and moistening. It's a demulcent, meaning it will moisten and soothe the mucous membranes. That's, like your throat, It's also an emollient, so it softens and soothes your skin and hair. I'll talk about a few things to do down later. It's also an expectorant, and this one I was not expecting it to be an expectorant. I didn't know that about it. It expels mucus from the body. That's what an expectorant does. So you have a cold and you have, or allergies. No, you have a cold and, you feel, you cough, but it's wet, but it's not coming out, It's an expectorant. It's also immunomodulator. I don't know why I give you the vocab word. I should just tell you what it does, right? So that's a broad support of the immune system. That's what an immunomodulator does. There's lots of nutrients in mallow, and it also helps in healing wounds. The root, specifically chewed up, is good for ulcers, specifically ulcers. So you chew the root and helps your ulcers. Also, you can make a honeyed root. So you take preferably the young roots, but I don't know, I have a few plants in my garden I might try this with. I probably won't show you because it won't be today, but I'll comment maybe, I don't know. You simmer them in honey for so long. Okay, I've done this with onions, and it's an immune boosting digestive tonic. The onions and honey is more for phlegmy coughs and stuff like that. But anyway, it's a whole nother story. Mallow can be used for inflamed mucous membranes. That's huge. Cold, dry cough, upper respiratory infection. A lot of that. Urinary tract infection or ulcers. Great on burns. Not the ones you have to go to the ER for, people. Just, you burn your hand, instead of cold water, you put a compress of mallow on it. Dry, itchy skin or wounds. Lungs, you can take a tea or you can eat it. Tea, cold tea. Not the hot tea, cold tea. And for the lungs, it helps in all seasons and conditions. The lungs are probably the most delicate organ we have, or one of the most delicate organs that we have. They're so sensitive to all the stuff we breathe in, whether it's humid air, dry air, smoky air. We've had a lot of that lately. It's every season there's something that can affect your lungs. And this is a great way to help soothe that. It can also help ward off infection. We talked about upper respiratory infections, also urinary tract infections. If you're gonna make a tincture for that one, combine it with goldenrod and yarrow. Just give it a boost. Common mallow, marshmallow root, whatever, all these can be used internal or external. Okay. Anyway, mallows are considered generally safe. Regarded as generally safe. No contradictions. 2 things for you to try. Well, 1 thing for you to try. If you're going to make a vinegar rinse for your hair, so that is simply just putting I don't put a lot in there, I guess. So half a cup of marshmallow root into a jar. And then I heat up like 2-3 cups of vinegar. Just white distilled vinegar, the cheap stuff. You can do apple cider if you prefer. Pour it over the top, okay? Put a plastic lid on it. Top it off if you want, if you have room. And let it sit for 2 weeks. Okay, strain it off. When you rinse your hair with that, like I usually mix that with a couple other ones, but if you rinse your hair with that, it's almost like a detangler. It gives it that slip that it's just crazy, super crazy. And you can actually make detangler out of marshmallow root. I don't have the recipe right now. It's in my notes somewhere. It's on a to-do list somewhere. The other thing is I have made soap with marshmallow root, where it was infused in the water and then some added to the soap, and it really does give that slip to the soap. Like it's this silky. It was a shampoo bar, so it's really cool. I haven't made that in a while. You can also you can use it in lotions. You can infuse it in the cold water, the water phase. Infuse it first for a while, and then make your lotion, and it'll give it just this extra little slip and very good skin properties. Okay. You're sick of me, aren't you? Okay. The reason, so when you go online and you look up the horchata on Pinterest or Google it or whatever, there's tons of recipes and there's different ways to do it. They'll use evaporated milk and sweetened condensed milk. I really wanted to try that one, but it wasn't like, come on, it's not original. It's just maybe it is, maybe for her region, but I like this one because it was an herbal one, right? And I really, the herbal lung health, I thought was really cool. I mean, how can you go wrong on that, right? So that's the one we're doing today. I am skipping almonds. So there's a cup of almonds in here. And I'm skipping that for obvious reasons. I'm sure nobody in my household is going to drink this except me. But just on the off chance that they use it. So I put some in my coffee today. I had like half a cup left. And so I just topped it off with the horchata. It makes a really good coffee creamer. Get my tea in for the day. No. Okay, yeah. So there's just a couple of those things I wanted to make sure you knew before we started. So you're not like, where the heck were the almonds at? I didn't put them in, for allergy reasons. I also don't have any mullein leaves. That's another lung herb that we could add. You add it to the tea in the beginning. So you would actually make the tea first and then proceed forward. We're not making the tea. You could actually use any other herbs that are good for your lungs, but you might want to be careful of how it's going to change the flavor of this, okay? So here we go, to the kitchen. Here is the recipe. You might want to cut it in half because it does make quite a bit. It makes about 6 cups when you're all done. So we're going to start with 1 cup rice. This is the rice I use. Remember, we're skipping the tea. So it's 1 cup of rice into my jar. I'm using a humongous jar because that was all I could find. Here you would also add the 1 cup almonds, but I am skipping that step. 2 to 3 cinnamon sticks. I put 3 because mine were short cinnamon sticks. Okay, this is the cinnamon sticks. I have the type. And then you need 1/4 cup of the marshmallow root. And I've never dug mine up. I just buy this one. And should probably start digging it up. So you need 1/4 cup of the marshmallow root. And I am adding my dates. 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup dates. I'm adding them because they're hard as a rock. Okay. If you have soft dates, we'll add them later. Okay. And then you're going to add 8 cups of water to the jar, and you're going to let it soak overnight in the refrigerator, or 6 to 8 hours in the refrigerator. Don't forget this. Then you're going to add it to a blender with your 1.5 teaspoons vanilla extract and your pinch of salt. And if your dates are soft, we would add them right here. Then you want to blend on high for 2 minutes. Here's where you want to add more dates for sweetness or honey diluted in a little water. Taste it and then add what you need. And then you need a strainer, not fine, maybe medium, and you want to strain it twice. Okay, you want to strain it twice before you add the milk. So you need 1 cup of milk of your choice, whatever type of milk you would like. And then you chill it in the fridge for an hour and serve it up with ice if you prefer. It'll last 3 days in the fridge. And there you have it, a nice herbal horchata for Tonya's Witchy Kitchen tea time. I hope you had a good time. Thank you for stopping by. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.